spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off.
Ricky Gervais made a bold entrance at the Golden Globes, eyeing the biggest stars in Hollywood. In just moments, he took them to task with his sharp British humor, calling out their hypocrisy and disconnected activism. Instead of just telling jokes, he delivered a full-on critique of the very industry that had invited him to entertain them. Gervais is known for his brutally honest comedic style, which really struck a chord with audiences tired of the constant virtue signaling from celebrities today. He pointed out how these stars live lavish lives while preaching about social justice, all from their gated mansions. This contrast is the heart of his critique, exposing the gap between what they say and what they do.
I'm always sort of doing it for a reason, and I've always said just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
Over the years, Gervais has been clear about one important belief. Just because someone feels offended doesn't mean they are right. In a world where being offended can seem like a badge of honor, he argues that this thinking is a problem. He points out that offense is personal. What upsets one person might not bother someone else at all. This viewpoint opens up a chance for better conversations about tough issues, suggesting that feelings shouldn't dictate what society accepts. In today's world, where social media amplifies voices and emotions, Gervais's challenge to the idea that offense should lead to censorship is refreshing. He believes we should engage with different opinions rather than suppress them, fostering deeper conversations about what it truly means to be offended.
I'm never trying to offend, but in this new tour, it is about freedom of speech.
He emphasizes that being offended is a personal experience and not a universal truth. Gervais questions whether the discomfort of a few should stop progress or discussion. Trying to avoid offending anyone is not only tiring but also impractical. Attempting to make everyone happy usually results in making no one happy. He argues that life is too short to tiptoe around feelings, especially when discussing important social topics. By viewing offense as a personal matter, Gervais challenges the idea that all feelings should hold equal weight. He encourages people to recognize that while feelings are valid, they shouldn't shape how society functions. This perspective pushes back against the trend of emotional responses, dominating discussions on free speech and political correctness.
A joke about a bad thing isn't the same as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It could be veiled in irony or satirical or whatever, but...
This perspective takes aim at the core of woke culture, where emotions are often prioritized over facts. Gervais flips this idea on its head, stressing that just because something makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's untrue. His commitment to truth, no matter the backlash, is a recurring theme in his comedy. At the heart of Gervais's argument is a call to value reason over emotion, especially when discussing social issues. He urges people to face uncomfortable truths instead of avoiding them, paving the way for more honest and productive conversations.
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg, so...
During the 2020 Golden Globes, Gervais delivered a powerful monologue that hit hard, calling out Hollywood's elite for their preachy views on social justice while raking in cash from corporations like Apple, Amazon, and Disney that have questionable ethics. His words rang true, reflecting what many were thinking but afraid to say. His critique wasn't just for laughs, it pointed out the hypocrisy in the celebrity world. Gervais highlighted that while these stars see themselves as champions for good causes, their paychecks from big corporations often conflict with their claimed values. The tension in the room was real as he laid bare these contradictions, pushing the audience to consider their own roles in this issue. One of his memorable lines from that night, "You know nothing about the real world," showcased how detached many celebrities are from everyday struggles. It's easy for them to talk about important causes from a safe stage, but Gervais pointed out the hypocrisy in doing so while benefiting from companies with questionable practices. This moment resonated with viewers who have seen the disconnect between celebrity activism and the realities of life outside Hollywood.
Okay? So... it's already 3 hours long.
The reactions in the room were priceless. People looked stunned, with a mix of awkward smiles and shock at being publicly called out. Meanwhile, viewers at home loved it, as Gervais voiced a sentiment many shared: the disconnect between celebrity activism and real-world issues. For the audience, Gervais's monologue was a breath of fresh air, reminding everyone that they crave authenticity. It served as a wake-up call to the entertainment industry, challenging them to align their actions with their words. By not shying away from uncomfortable truths, Gervais encouraged both the audience and viewers to question the motives behind celebrity activism.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics, so trust me when I tell you who you should vote for.
Gervais's ability to cut through the noise is evident in his hilarious parody of Hollywood influencers. He kicks it off with, "Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer," poking fun at celebrities who, for their lavish lives, tell everyday people how to live, vote, and think, all while being completely out of touch. The satire is especially relevant in a time when social media influencers have so much sway over public opinion. Gervais cleverly highlights the absurdity of celebrities preaching authenticity while living in a bubble of privilege. His impression reveals the gap between these influencers' glamorous lives and the realities faced by ordinary people. By mocking their attempts to impart wisdom on serious issues, Gervais shines a light on the privilege that often goes unnoticed in these discussions.
So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?
Gervais has been very vocal about his dislike for virtue signaling in Hollywood, where celebrities make grand claims about social justice, but often do very little. They might give moving speeches about helping others, but Gervais believes much of it is just for show. This critique is more than just a joke. It reveals a deeper frustration with the superficiality of celebrity activism. In a world where it's easy to grab attention with tweets or Instagram posts, Gervais stresses the need for real action over empty gestures. He argues that true commitment to a cause requires more than just online engagement. It needs real efforts to create change. His criticism also targets celebrities who profit from companies like Apple and Disney while preaching social justice. Gervais sums up this contradiction with the sharp line, "If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent?" highlighting how far some stars will go for profit, even if it means ignoring their principles. This comment captures how many in Hollywood prioritize their careers over their supposed values. This irony resonates with the public, who often feel frustrated by the gap between celebrity rhetoric and reality. By exposing these contradictions, Gervais doesn't just challenge individuals, he also critiques the systems that allow such hypocrisy to persist. What makes Gervais's points so effective is how he reveals the emptiness behind these celebrity-driven causes. It's easy to give a speech at an awards show or tweet about a trending topic, but Gervais's main point is that real action is often missing. For him, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Too many celebrities are just talking without taking meaningful action. This focus on action instead of words is key to judging the effectiveness of celebrity activism. Gervais's critic encourages the audience to question whether these stars truly care about the causes they support or if they're simply looking to enhance their public image.
But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man.
Gervais also stirred up controversy with his comments about Caitlyn Jenner at the Golden Globes, causing a collective gasp from the audience. His jokes touched on dead naming, which means referring to a transgender person by their previous name, something many find offensive. The backlash he received showed just how tricky the waters of humor and identity politics can be today. His willingness to tackle these tough topics highlights his belief that comedy should not be limited by the fear of offending anyone. Gervais argues that the essence of comedy lies in its ability to challenge norms and make people think.
And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic.
For Gervais, acknowledging someone's past doesn't erase their current identity. He opposes the idea of rewriting history to fit a narrative, believing that such a view is both unrealistic and unfair. Recognizing Bruce Jenner's achievements, he insists, is essential to understanding Caitlyn's story. This viewpoint promotes a richer discussion about identity and change. By advocating for acceptance of one's past, Gervais challenges the notion that remembering history is inherently harmful. Instead, he argues that knowing where someone came from can enhance our understanding of who they are today. So, what do you think about Gervais's take? Share your thoughts in the comments below.